destruction event. So we can configure two methods as lifecycle methods. Okay, since they are user-defined method, we call them as what? Custom init and custom destroy methods, right? We seriously call them as what? Custom init and what? Custom destroy method. Okay. When instantiation event rises, when IOC container creates SpringBean class object and also completes injections on that object. Clear, boss? Come on. When IOC container performs destruction event. Okay. When SpringBean class object is about to destroy. When the IOC container is about to destroy our SpringBean class object, then we have to think about using this option or not, guys. We have to seriously think about working with this option or not. I want reply, my dear. Come on. What kind of logics we write in custom init method? We initialize leftover properties that are not participating in the injections, right? Now YSR again. Am I audible, online students? Can you check and tell whether I am audible or not? So, Saurabh, just now you said not audible. Now you are saying audible. I hope everything is good. Yeah. In custom init method, what kind of logics we write? We write two types of logic. We initialize leftover property that are not participated in any injection, right? Okay, data verification with the system date and time. Time of verification with the system time. Yes, my dear. Next, if some properties are already injected, we check whether they are injected with the right values or not. We check whether they are injected with what? Right values or not, correct values or not. So that before going to business logic, we can ensure correct values are injected to correct properties. Perfect. Sir, what kind of logics we write in custom destroy method, guys? Okay, we try to nullify the bean properties. Or if SpringBean is having any non-Java resources, we try to release those non-Java resources or not, guys. If SpringBean is having any non-Java resources, we try to release the non-Java resources or not, guys. Say something, my dear. I want reply, guys. Okay, that's great. Shall we get into the next level discussion? Yeah, total how many approaches are there for lifecycle configuration? SpringBean lifecycle configuration can be done in three ways. Declarative XML file. We have to use init-method, destroy-method attributes to configure lifecycle method. XML is outdated. Should I entertain this one? No. Programmatic approach. We have to make SpringBean class implementing how many interfaces? Two interface. One is initializing bean, other one is what? Disposable bean interfaces. Number one, initializing bean. Number two, what? Disposable bean interfaces. What do you say, guys? Total, how many interfaces we have to implement? Two interfaces. There, after property set method, destroy method as lifecycle method. Okay, here you need not to configure lifecycle method explicitly. Then why it is outdated? Because it is making SpringBean class as what? Invasive, because we are implementing Spring specific interfaces or not, guys. Okay, third approach is what? Annotation approach. Custom init method by using @post construct annotation. And custom destroy method by using what? @pre-destroy annotation. We have to use these two annotations or not, guys? Come on. Okay, post construct and pre-destroy. @post construct for init method. @pre-destroy for what? Destroy method. Convinced by dear? Come on. Okay, that's great. There is no charging happening. Okay. Yeah. What is the best approach as of now? Third approach. What is that approach, guys? That approach is annotation approach, right? Okay. Let me open the document. Spring. What's your batch code, guys? 515. The batch code is 515. Spring core. Here is my what? Spring Bean life cycle. 17th and what? 18th. Yeah, what are the annotations we are having here, guys? Come on, everyone. In this approach, we need to use @post construct to configure init lifecycle method. @predestroy to configure what? Destroy lifecycle method, right? Initially, these two annotations are available in what? JDK software up to JDK 1.8 and Java version. But from Java 9, it is given in a separate jar file. That is what? Jakarta.annotation API-version.jar file. What file, guys? Version.jar file. But unfortunately, that is there in a separate jar file. And this is the event dependency tag to get that jar file. Up to Java 8, you need not to arrange this dependency, this jar file, because it's a part of JDK software, right? Okay. In init lifecycle method, we place initialization logic for leftover properties that are not participating in the injection. And we can also place validation logic, checking whether important properties are injected with what? Correct values or not. In destroy lifecycle method, what method, guys? In destroy lifecycle method, we generally place the nullification logic of bean properties and logic to release non-Java resources associated with what? Spring Bean class object, like what? DB connection. Okay. Shall we take up one example of that kind, guys? Right. What is the example that you want to develop? I will take one Spring Bean, guys. Check voting eligibility. What is that? Check voting eligibility. There I try to inject name, age, address, and date of verification. I'll try to inject values collected from the properties to name, age, address. I don't do any injection on what? I don't do any injection on what? Data verification property. What is that? I don't do any injections on one data verification property. Are you getting my point there, guys? Come on. Because I want to initialize that one in custom init method. In the same custom init method, I want to check whether name and age properties are compulsory injected by collecting values from property file or not. If not injected, I want to throw the exception. If already injected, I want to check correct values are injected or not. If not injected, I want to throw the exception. So that in my business logic, always correct values will be there to participate. Then what do you do in the custom destroy method, sir? We try to nullify those properties, either with zero null kind of thing, either with what? Zero null kind of thing. Okay, once again, voter eligibility checking is my Spring Bean. In the custom init method, what logics you write? In the custom init method, I write the logics, come on, to check whether important properties are injected with correct values or not. Whether important properties are what? Injected with correct values or not. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Come on. Okay. Next one, we try to initialize those properties. We try to initialize those properties which are not participating in the injection. Are you getting my point? Super, guys. Guys, can you give me 2 minutes? I got an important call to attend. What's the project, guys? Maven project. Say next. What's the archetype? 1.5. Please. What's the project, guys? IOC Pros 0. 16. Okay. IOC Pros 16. Yeah. SpringBean life cycle. SpringBean life cycle. What approach, guys? Annotation driven approach. com.nt.main is the default. First, I'll explain the problem without lifecycle methods. Yeah, yeah. What is there? Yes. This is success, guys. Come on, everyone. Okay, this is 16. com.nt.src main Java. What is there? A new package. What's the package we got? com.nt. Okay. I'll take service. Service means Spring Bean class, having business logic, right? Or you can take SBean also, that's not a big issue. I want to keep some properties file, guys. For that one, come on. com.nt.commons, right? So here, commons is the package. Here, what is the file I am taking here? Info.properties. What dot properties? Info. Yes, guys. How to write the comment? Voter information. What is there? Voter information. Voter dot ID 1001. Voter dot name. What is there? Raja. Voter dot address. What is the address, guys? Hyderabad. Voter dot address Hyderabad. We are taking these things, guys. These are the keys we are having. Okay. Now go to service. A service class is nothing but what? The Java class that is having business logic. The Spring Bean that is having Spring Bean. Okay. See, normal Spring Bean at the rate component. You want to make Java class as Spring Bean come service class. We have at the rate service annotation or not, guys? Okay. Acha, we are looking for A's also, na? Okay. Yeah, we don't take ID, boss. Leave it. Here we take name, address. What is next one? Voter dot A's. Some 30 is taken. That is in properties file. Okay, that's great. Right click, new. What is there? Class. voter checking eligibility. Voter checking eligibility. Yes. I can take at the rate component also, but to be specific, it is not just SpringBean, it is SpringBean come service class. It's better to use at the rate service now, boss. VCE. Okay. Control plus shift plus O. Yeah, it will work out, it will not work out, will not work. Why? We have to add the jars or not, guys? How to add the jars, my dear? mvnrepository.com. Where is this? Spring context support. Here is what? Spring context support. Done. Okay, latest is 6.2.4. That's great. Here is my what? 6.2.4. In this place, pom.xml, guys. Here is my pom.xml, guys. Say paste. Okay. Right, my dear. Yeah, now come to this at the rate. Uh, where is this? At the rate service. Okay. Voter checking eligibility. That's great. Tell me next one. Private. Private string name. What is there? String name. Private. Tell me. String address. Private. Tell me. Integer is. Private date. DOE. Date of verification. What is that? Date of verification. Are you getting my point there, guys? Right. Date of verification. Come on. Yeah. Yeah, tell me, guys. At the rate value. What is there? At the rate value. Dollar floor bracket open closing. If you want to inject simple value, what is the annotation we have to use? At the rate. At the rate value. Voter dot name. What dot name, guys? Voter dot name. Copy this, paste it. Voter dot addrs. Nice. Voter dot age. Here, what is there? Age. Okay, guys. Come on. Right. Yeah, here I will take the business method. What method, guys? Business. Here is what? Public string. What is there? Public string. Hmm. Public string. Tell me next one. Public string. Public string. Public string. Public string. Check. Check. Voting eligibility. What is there? Eligibility. Check voting eligibility. Okay. Sir, for DAOE, I don't know. Did I take any property for data verification? No. We have not taken, right? How can I go for Navin Kumar? Try to show some common sense. When you have not taken property, how do you inject? So that property I am keeping to inject for what? Initialize in custom init method, right? Okay. Now tell me here. If age less than 18, return, tell me here, Mr., Miss, Mr., Miss, Mrs. Mr. Miss name, you are, what is there? You are eligible for, you are not eligible for voting. You are not eligible for voting. You are not eligible for voting. Else. Yes. Here what is there? Return paste. Mr. Miss name. You are eligible for voting. You are eligible for voting. Yes. Is that right, guys? Come on, everyone. Super. It says you are not eligible for voting, and it says what? You are eligible for voting. Are you getting my point there, guys? Come on. You are not eligible for voting. You are eligible for voting. In this place, info.properties is there or not there? Voter checking eligibility or not there? Guys, come on, everyone. Super. Okay, right now, no life cycle methods are involved. I'm going to the main one, guys. Okay, here is class. What's the class? SpringBean life cycle test. SpringBean life cycle test. That's great. SpringBean life cycle test. Okay. Here, tell me what is there. Create the IOC content. What is next? Annotation config. Application context. CTX is equal to annotation config application context. Here is my app config dot class. And we have to take configuration class now, boss. I think somehow we miss it to take package for that, class for that. Come on. Right. Shall I take one package? What is the package? com.nt.config. com.nt.config. Here what is there? Class. What is there? App config. What is there, guys? App config. That's great. SpringBean lifecycle test, guys. SpringBean lifecycle test. Here we are creating the IOC container, my dear. Come on, everyone. Super. Perfectly, we are creating one IOC container here or not, guys? Super. Okay. Next one. Get SpringBean class object reference. Get SpringBean class object reference. Voter checking eligibility. What is there? Eligibility. Voter checking eligibility. This CTX dot get bean. CTX dot get bean. Tell me here what is there? VCE. What is there? VCE. Voter checking eligibility dot class. Sysout. Invoke the business method. What the method? Invoke the business method. String message is equal to eligibility dot check voting eligibility. Are you getting my point there, guys? Come on. Super, guys. Okay. MSZ. System.out.println MSZ. Okay, that's good. We have to. This is invocation of business method. May throw exception. End of the try block. Here is what? End. Here is my catch. Exception E. E dot print stack trace. Tell me. Close IOC container. What is there, guys? CTX dot close. What dot close, guys? CTX dot close. MSC, this system dot out dot println, this catch block, close IOC container. Comfortable, my dear? Come on, everyone. String MSC is equal to eligibility dot check voting eligibility. Catch block, close the IOC container. Tell me, app config dot class. Here is my app config dot Java. Yeah, tell me here, what is this? At the rate configuration. What is that? At the rate configuration. I have to do, what is that? At the rate component scan. What is there? Base package. What package, guys? Base package is equal to com.nt.service. Okay, no user defined, guys. That's why no need of taking at the rate bean methods. Is there any need of taking at the rate bean methods, guys? No. Right. Let's see what we can do there. SpringBean lifecycle test, guys. That's great. Run as Java application. Oh, we are getting exception. Input string voter dot is. Okay, wait a minute. Voter dot is 30. That's okay. Okay, here what is this? At the rate value. No, it has to translate automatically. You need not to worry about translation. Why it is giving error? Voter dot is. At the rate value voter dot is. That should be correct only, na? I think wrong value annotation. No, right only. Let's read the error once again. Number format exception. It has to take care of translation on its own. Fail to convert of type string to required integer for input string what? Voter dot is. String to integer. No, we need not to do any conversion. Conversion has to be taken care by whom? Spring itself. Spring itself. Unexpected problem. Okay, required. Let me check. Sometimes what happens, yeah. If you press enter key, that extra spaces will not be there. Okay, then it becomes those extra spaces now it becomes easy to convert string. What is that? String to integer internally. Okay. Huh? What is that? That's one more thing. We have to configure property file. We forgot to configure property file. That's why it is trying to inject placeholder as it is to integer. Placeholder is string content, na boss. Placeholder is what? String content. Okay, that's great. At the rate configuration, at the rate component scan. What is the annotation we have to configure the proper? At the rate property source, com/nt/ what is there? Commons/, what slash, guys? Commons/ info dot properties. What dot properties, guys? Info dot properties. Everyone getting my point? Yes. SpringBean lifecycle test run as Java application. Mr. Miss Mrs. Raja, you are eligible for what? Voting. Mr. Miss Mrs. Raja, you are what? Eligible for voting. Yes, that's correct. But what's the problem we hear? You tell me. Go to properties file. I have given minus 30 years. Is there any possibility of having minus 30 years? but still it is allowing. And that too, before getting into business logic, we are not verifying anywhere whether injected values are correct values or not. Are we checking anywhere, guys? No, we are not checking anywhere. Okay, run as, what is there? Java application. You are not eligible for voting. That's fine, but minus 30 is intelligent value or correct value? Minus 30 should be allowed or should not be allowed? Okay, fine. Wait a minute. Minus 30 you should not allow, guys. You should not consider that, right? Okay. Where is this? Verified on. What is there? Verified on DOE. What is there? DOE. Here also. Verified on. Verified on. Where is this? DOE. SpringBean lifecycle test run as Java application verified on null boss. What it is saying? Verified on null, inject not injected. But minus 30 is a wrong value or not, guys? You should allow in between what? 1 to some 100, 120. Anything that you should not allow, right? Negative value you should not allow, 0 you should not allow. Only positive number you should allow. But are we checking anywhere? No. Are we checking anywhere? No. Okay. Suppose I have not given name, Ra Babu. I have not given name. Okay. Now let's see how to run the, when you run the application, what happens? It is injecting placeholder itself directly. Is it, when I have not given error, it should give me exception. It should throw me exception, right? But it's saying voter.name, you are not eligible for voting. Is there any sense in that? There is no sense in that. Are you getting my point there, guys? Come on, everyone. There is no sense in that. Okay, what should I do now? We have to think about, you have to think about checking, cross verifying whether correct values are injected or not. Okay, next, if I want to initialize any leftover property, I have to initialize or not. For example, data verification null is there. No, sir, I want to initialize with the system date and time. So that kind of work we have to do or not, guys. For that one, custom init method is the right place. But how to make a normal method as custom init method? At the rate post construct annotation. But that annotation is there in JDK software or in a separate jar file. Up to Java 8, it is part of JDK software. But later it is there in a separate jar file. So that separate jar file related dependency I should add in what? That separate jar file related dependency I must add in what, guys? pom.xml or not, guys? My dear, come on, everyone. Okay, what is that, guys? Go to this place. Go to this place. Java annotate. What API, guys? Java annotation API. Java X annotation API. That's great. Array, someone, can you call that admin? Charging is going down. Java annotation API. 1.3.2, guys. Copy this, guys. Okay. Go to pom.xml. Go to pom.xml. Here is paste. 1.3.2. Charging. అవట్లేదు, స్టార్ట్ చేయలేదు. 1.3.2. Okay. 1.3.2. So now it is it is coming now, boss. Right. So now what is that? Custom init method, custom destroy method. What kind of logics we write in custom init method? We initialize bean properties. What is that? We initialize bean properties. Okay, that are not participating injection. Number one. Number two, we check whether injected values are, we check whether injected properties are injected with correct values or not, right? Okay, public void. What is this? My INIT. Public void my INIT. Tell me, where is this? Initialize leftover spring bean properties. Leftover spring bean properties. Tell me. DOE is equal to new date of. We have done initialization of that or not, guys? Come on. Yes, boss. Check whether important properties are, what guys? Properties are injected with correct values or not. Check whether important properties are injected with correct values or not. If name double equal to null or age less than 0, equal to 0 also, anything is right. Age less than 0 or what is there? Age less than how much? 30. Sorry, age double equal to null or age less than or equal to 0. Then what is there? Throw new. Where is this? Illegal argument exception. Throw new illegal argument exception. What is there? Invalid. Invalid data offer. Invalid data offer. Name dot dot ways. Invalid data for name dot dot is. Comfortable, my dear? Come on, everyone. Name double equal to null or age double equal to null or age less than 0. I'm throwing exception, guys. This is my custom init method, guys. Come on. Sys trace. Okay. Here, what is there? Business method, sys trace. How to make normal method as custom init method? At the rate post construct. Public void my destroy. This is my custom destroy method or not, guys? Sys trace. Tell me. At the rate pre-destroy. At the rate pre-destroy. Are you getting my point? Yes, guys. Tell me. Name double equal to null. Is double equal to null. I'm trying to nullify bean properties, guys. Next one. Address double equal, sorry, address equal to null. So we are nullifying the bean properties. Nullifying means we are just keeping unimportant value. Nullifying the spring bean properties. Nullifying the bean property. DOE is equal to null. DOV is equal to null. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Come on, everyone. Super. SpringBean lifecycle test run as a Java application. Oh, invalid data for Raja minus 30. We are saying that wrong data is kept for name or what? Age properties, right? Invalid data for name or age. Okay, that's great. Now let me give the correct value. I have given positive number 30, boss. SpringBean lifecycle test run as a Java application. Where output application is executing, output is coming na boss. Right. I'll give my positive number, but 12 years I have. Positive number, but I have given. Even leftover property injected with the data or not, guys? Tuesday, March 18th, and all this stuff is happened or not happened, guys? Yes. Run as a Java application. Okay, guys. Verified on Tuesday, 8/18, 2024 or not, guys? And it is saying what, guys? You are not eligible for voting. You are not eligible for what? Voting. Did you notice that, boss? Come on, everyone. 12 years now, not eligible. According to Indian constituency, what is the eligibility criteria for voting, guys? 18. For marriage, for a girl, 18 years. For boy, 21. Am I right? For both girl and boy, same nowadays. I think for girls, still 18 years. Boy, what? 21 years, right? What is the observation from that? To choose a leader, 18 years are enough. But to handle a girl, you need 21 years. Esa no na? Have you ever noticed it? You can choose the leader for nation at the age of 18. But to understand girl, to handle a girl, you need to be more matured. You need to get 21 years. But they can handle boy at the age of 18 only. Esa? Fine. Right. I'm just kidding, boss. That was not the actual story. The actual story is in India, we used to have child marriages, right? Marriage at fifth year, sixth year, 10th year, 11th year. So they're getting a lot of health issues and psychological problem for both boys and girls. So after a lot of bargaining with different culture people, different religion people, somehow they are able to convince, okay, for girl 18 years, for boy 21 years. But my suggestion is boy will not become mentally matured until he get 27, 28 years. If I become prime minister, I will put minimum age for boy to marriage is what? 28 years. Why? I will tell the reason behind it. See, girls spend lot of time with the parents, especially mother, right? They understand what is family, what is responsibility. They know what is a value system and family life, right? But up to 26, 27 years, boy never spend time with the parents. He hate father, he hate mother, and he cannot be free with them. Okay. He spend more time with what? Friends. Jogi, jogi, no jogi. Friend don't know anything. You also don't know anything. Everything happens out of what? Drama and excitement, right? So that's why my suggestion is as a boy, don't get into any serious relationship or permanent relationship until you get what? 27 years. Okay, by that time you take a decision, no marriage for this life also. But if you enter into serious relationship, okay, before that you have to take it as another 60 or 40 years project. Yes, girls, you can enter into any relation any age, no problem. Because you are always matured enough to handle the things. Right, guys? Okay. And please come back. I hope you understood, guys. Yeah. Why, yeah? I think. Ritik Anand. Okay, you will understand my statement when you get 27 years. Not now. I think now you are below 27. Na? That's why you are not understanding why you have to wait for 27 years. Okay. Let's go for. I think you understood how the things are happening. Okay, now let me give the feeling. First, Spring container loads the class, SpringBean class, creates the object, then completes all injections, right? Then custom init method, then keeps object ready and keeps in internal cache. Right, boss? Okay, let me prove whether all these things are happening or not. So, first of all, what I do is I will put the feeling there is a static block. What block, guys? Static. There is a static block. Yeah, here is my, what is there? Zero param constructor. Sorry, not zero param constructor. Here is my what block, guys? Static block. Here is my what block, guys? Static block. Tell me next one, what is the story? Yes, guys. Tell me here, cis trace. What trace, guys? Cis trace. Zero param constructor. What constructor? Cis trace zero param constructor. Is that clear, my dear? Come on, everyone. That's great. Here is main SpringBean lifecycle test run as Java application. We are getting output over there or not there, guys? Are we ready with the real output? Come on, everyone. Super. Mr. Miss Raja, you are not eligible for voting. Verified on what, guys? Tuesday, this one. Yeah. Now, first loading the class, then creating object. Array field injection, we cannot feel whether what methods are executed, but actually injection is happening. Actually, injection is happening. Then custom init method, then bring bean object is ready for business method execution. Business method. When we close the container, guys, when we close the container, first uninitialization through custom destroy method. Later it become ready for garbage collection or not, guys. So that means we can use custom init method for two activities to initialize SpringBean property that are not participating in any injection. Number one. Number two, okay, to check whether correct important properties are injected with right values or not. Whether important properties are injected with what? Right values or not. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Come on, everyone. Okay. Init method verified on new data. If anything is null or zero, you throw exception. We are nullifying the bean properties over there or not there, guys. And here is the story. Here is the story. My NIT, my destroy. This is executing. Yes. SpringBean life cycle diagram. First, what is there, guys? Does not existed. That means no object is created. In that process, first what happened? SpringBean class loading. In that process, static block executes or not, guys? Then SpringBean instantiation, constructor execution takes place or not, guys? Injections on SpringBean class object, all the configuration, all the configured injection, field injection or setter injection or arbitrary method injection. These injections takes place or not, guys? Custom init lifecycle method execution, guys. What method? Custom init lifecycle method execution. Super. Then what we can say? SpringBean class object is ready for utilization. Access the SpringBean class object reference for what? Business method execution. Okay, guys. Tell me, when we shut down the container, when we stop the container, okay, destruction event. Okay, simply for what? For ctx dot close method call. What method call? For ctx dot close method call. What call, guys? ctx dot close method call. Right. Custom destroy method executes. And then what is that? SpringBean class object deinstantiation. Garbage collection takes place or not, guys? Array SpringBean object destruction. Array when object is deleted, loaded class will be unloaded or not, guys? So for a destruction event, first SpringBean class object uninitialization, deinitialization, destroy lifecycle method executed. Then garbage collection using Spring's own garbage collector. Then the loaded class will be unloaded or not, guys? Come on. This is SpringBean lifecycle diagram. First does not existed, then loading of the class, then object creation, then whatever injections we configured, all injections will take place. Then I can say SpringBean object is ready for, sorry, custom init method. Then SpringBean object is ready for utilization. Okay, from there we call the business method and we do it. When we stop the container, when we close the container, then what happened? Destroy lifecycle method executes or not, guys? Come on. SpringBean class object deinstantiation takes place, guys. SpringBean class unloading takes place or not, guys? Come on, everyone. And this is the end of this story. Okay. Assignment. Design another application to check injected values validness before using the in the business method. Okay, as the input value. Develop what? Marriage eligibility application. Whatever we have done here, same thing I want to see you people working out on what? Marriage eligibility. Same thing I want to see you people working on what, guys? Marriage eligibility. What eligibility, guys? Okay, that's good. Yeah. Now, with this, we completed Spring core module. Now, time has come to revise all these module, one-liners about each topic. I would like to give one-liner statement for each topic. Shall we start going for that, guys? Come on, everyone. Here is my paintbrush. Okay. Open this, open. Class content, done. Here is what? Spring, guys. Here is Spring. Yeah. Next. What is there? NTSP BMS 515. Spring core. Right. I think I have not brought that document. Let me bring that document for you, people. Spring Boot core. Not Spring Boot core, it is Spring core, right? Yes. Core module revision. One document is there. Yes. File save as class content. Here is what? Spring 515. Spring core. Spring core. Tell me here, what is this? 717, no. 515. I think we stopped giving dates. Yeah, okay. March 18, 2025. Spring core module revision. Single line statement about various topics of the core module. Various topics of the core module. SpringBean, the Java class whose object is created and managed by Spring container or IOC container. Spring container or IOC container. IOC container. It is Spring or Spring Boot supplied container who manages who manages who manages the SpringBean lifecycle. Also take care of what? Dependency management among the SpringBeans. Dependency management among the SpringBeans. What is IOC? Inversion of control. Is the specification providing set of rules and guidelines to manage the dependency among the SpringBean. Dependency lookup and injection are what? Implementation models of IOC. Dependency lookup, guys. The target SpringBean searches in what? Different resources to get the dependent SpringBean. To get the dependent SpringBean. Okay, next one. Dependency injection. The underlying container assigns dependent SpringBean class object to what object, guys? Dependent SpringBean class object to target SpringBean class object dynamically at what time, guys? Runtime. Dynamically at what time, guys? Runtime. Setter injection. IOC container using setter method of target class to assign dependent class object to target class object. Constructor injection. IOC container using what? Parameterized constructor to create target class object and also to assign what? Dependent class object to target class object. Dependent class object to what? Target class object. Are you getting my point there, guys? Come on. Next, field injection. IOC container assigns dependent SpringBean class object to target SpringBean class objects has a property assign dependence object to target SpringBean class object has a property. That's it. Okay. Arbitrary method injection. IOC container uses arbitrary method. Arbitrary method means what? Random method, na boss? Arbitrary method means random method of target class to assign dependent SpringBean class object to target SpringBean class object or not, guys. Next, we have what? Stereotype annotation. Multiple annotation performing similar or same operation with what? Minor changes. At the rate component, at the rate service, at the rate repository, at the rate controller, at the rate configuration. All these are stereotype annotations, na boss? What are the minor? Common operation is what? Note all these class annotations make Java classes as SpringBeans or not, guys? All these annotations make Java classes as SpringBeans or not? I want reply, guys. Come on, everyone. Useful for dependency injection configuration. One SpringBean injection to another SpringBean. At the rate value, guys. Useful for injecting simple values collected from the properties file, system properties, environment variable. Next, hard-coded values. What values, guys? Okay, useful for what? This one. Array SpringBean to SpringBean injection at the rate auto void. To inject the simple values at the rate value. Read this document carefully. Most of the questions that are there in this document you may get on this weekend what? Exam that I am planning to conduct for you people, right? Okay. At the rate component scan makes the IOC container searching in the given package and sub-packages to make stereotype annotation based Java classes as what? SpringBean. Stereotype annotation based Java classes as what? SpringBean. Are you getting my point there, guys? Come on. Property source to configure property file with what? Spring application. At the rate primary, useful to solve ambiguity problem if multiple same type dependent SpringBeans are trying to get injected with what? Single as a property of target SpringBean class object. Single as a property of what? Target SpringBean class object. Are you getting my point? Property source. Here is what? At the rate component scan. Here is qualifier. Yeah. To solve the above ambiguity problem in another way. To solve the ambiguity problem in another way. Solving the ambiguity problem, na boss? Okay, next. At the rate import resource to map SpringBean configuration file with what? Configuration class. At the rate configuration to make Java class as what? SpringBean come configuration required for IOC container to provide inputs to whom? IOC container. To provide inputs to whom, guys? IOC container. Constructor injection is fast, but field injection is best because it does not require separate method for what? Injection. Fastest injection is what? Construct. At the rate bin. Whenever you want to make method returned object as spring beans, we have to use at the rate bin methods or not, guys? We have to take the support of which methods, guys? At the rate bin method. So generally it is very useful to configure predefined classes as spring beans or not, guys. Makes the IOC container to take Java method of configuration class, Java method of configuration class, returned object as spring bean. Very useful to make predefined class object as what? Spring bean. Next, what is there? At the rate scope. Makes the spring bean class object going to certain scope. The scopes are singleton, prototype, request, session, application, WebSocket. Application and what? WebSocket. Are you getting my point there, guys? Come on, everyone. Okay. At the rate lazy. What is there? The value true in of this annotation makes the IOC container to enable what? Lazy instantiation of spring bean. Though the scope of the spring bean is what? Singled. Or a singleton means pre-instantiation. I don't want pre-instantiation, though the scope is what? Singleton. Then we have to use at the rate lazy or not, guys? Spring Bean life cycle talks about life cycle events that are raised in Spring Bean life cycle. They are instantiation event, next destruction event. We can configure these life cycle event related life cycle method using what? Post construct and pre-destroy method. What, guys? Post construct and what? Pre-destroy method. Additional features of application context container over bean factory container. Number one, pre-instantiation of singleton scope spring beans, annotation driven configuration support, ability to work with property file by recognizing placeholder directly, no extra configuration. Okay. Without additional configuration. Without additional configuration. Support for I18N, event handling, ability to stop or close the IOC container. Ability to stop or close the IOC. What is the environment object? Remembered? Values collected from the properties file. System properties. Values collected from the properties file. System properties. Come on. Next. Environment variable value. First of all, we'll comment store into environment object. First of all, we'll comment store into what object, guys? Environment object. From there, they go to what? From there, they go to Spring Bean properties. Based on the placeholders we keep or not, guys? It acting as a bridge object between multiple values and Spring Bean properties or not, guys? The IOC container managed internal Spring Bean object holding various values, holding various values that values that are collected dynamically from different places like properties file, system properties, environment variables, and etc. This environment gives those values to SpringBean properties based on the placeholders placed in the at the rate value annotation. What annotation, guys? At the rate value annotation. Comfortable, my dear? Come on, everyone. Based on the placeholders placed in what? At the rate value annotation. Next, at the rate import annotation. What is there? To link one configuration class with what? Another configuration class. To link one configuration class with what? Another configuration class. Okay, guys. Next one is what? A2. At the rate post construct. What is there? To configure user defined method as custom init lifecycle method. What method, guys? Custom init lifecycle method. Custom init lifecycle method. Okay. For the instantiation event of okay, SpringBean lifecycle. A3 at the rate pre-destroy. To configure user-defined method as custom, what is there? Destroy lifecycle method for the destruction event. What event, guys? For the destruction event of SpringBean lifecycle. What lifecycle? SpringBean lifecycle. Okay. Tell me. A4. Solving ambiguity problem. Okay. Solving ambiguity problem with 100% loose coupling. What coupling, guys? 100% loose coupling. With 100% loose coupling. Solving ambiguity problem with 100% loose coupling. Are you getting my point here, guys? Come on, everyone. Right. With 100% loose coupling. Solving ambiguity problem with what? 100% loose coupling. Yes, guys. Tell me here, what is this? Yeah, this can be done. This can. That means here we need to change one dependent. What is this? SpringBean with what, guys? Another dependent SpringBean. Another dependent SpringBean. One dependent SpringBean with another dependent SpringBean. Okay. Without touching the source code of target SpringBean. Without touching the source code of target SpringBean. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Come on, everyone. without touching the source code of target SpringBean. That's great. Without touching the source code of what? Target SpringBean. Okay, that's great, guys. We need to change one dependent SpringBean with another dependent SpringBean. This can be done in two ways. This can be done in two ways. Yeah, number one, using properties file plus tell me, at the rate qualifier annotation plus next one, bean aliasing plus, what is that? Bean aliasing plus next one, using property file plus at the rate qualifier annotation plus bean aliasing plus SpringBean configuration file. Okay. B, using Spring profiles. What is there? Using Spring. Using Spring profile. What is the best one? This. But Spring profile is not discussed. I will cover along with the Spring Boot. I will cover along with the Spring Boot. Okay, guys. A5. Any actor that we have not forgotten? Yeah. Difference between IOC and dependency injection is used or not, guys? Okay. How exactly? Yeah. Implementation of dependency lookup. Implementation of dependency lookup. Okay. Calling ctx.getBean method. What method? In the client application. Fall under. What is this? In the client application, fall under. Okay, 1 minute. In client application to get certain SpringBean class object reference. Fall under dependency lookup or not, guys? Dependency lookup. Fall under dependency lookup. What is there? A6. Yeah, implementation of dependency injection. Okay, implementation of dependency injection. Yeah, at the rate value for injecting simple values to SpringBean properties. Hey, simple value injection also injection, boss. Okay. At the rate auto void is for auto void for injecting one SpringBean with for injecting one SpringBean with another SpringBean. One SpringBean with another SpringBean. Are you comfortable, guys? Come on, everyone. For injecting one SpringBean with another SpringBean. Are you getting my point here, guys? Come on. Yes, here is what implementation of dependency lookup, implementation of dependency injection. Comfortable, guys? At the rate pre-destroy, at the rate post construct. All these are various annotations that are there. Okay. Now let me upload all the documents, guys. And I would like to give even source code of the classroom applications. Shall we start doing that work? Yeah. 7 a.m. Natraz. What's your batch code? 5:30 p.m. This is your batch code. Spring Core module. Yes, guys. File upload. File upload. Tell me. Class content. Spring. Where is this? 515. Spring Core. Yes. 17 and 18 Spring Core module revision, guys. Yes, uploading the material. Yes, guys. This is what we need to focus. Spring Boot microservices. This is 5:30 p.m. Spring. I'm taking another folder here, guys. New folder. Tell me. Classroom applications. Classroom practicals. Classroom applications. Right. As part of classroom applications, right? File upload. Let's go to the folder where our applications are originally saved. Workshops or workspace. Workspaces. Here is what? Spring. What's your batch code? 515. NTSP-BMS 515. NTSP-BMS 515. Right click, send it to, no, 7-zip. Okay. Compress to this. Okay. Add to this zip file. Yes, guys. We added to this zip file. Are extract it, you will get a content. Okay. Yeah, I'll give a proper name for this file, guys. What is the proper name that you want to give? Okay. Workspace up to March 18th, 2025. March 18th, 2025. Say open. March 18th, 2025. This is. You download, you will get a zip file, you will get all the projects. Sir, how to open those projects in Eclipse IDE? By this time, you might have realized how to open it. There is an import option, guys. What option? Import. General. Existing projects into workspace. After extracting, you will get all the projects folder by folder. Select each folder to import each folder. Select each project to get this one. Select each folder to select each project. Is that clear? Come on, everyone, getting my point there or not there? Select each folder to select each project into over there, guys. Right, that's it. So All applications are given, notes is given. Okay, so if any supplementary documents are there, I will share in the group itself. So with this, Spring core module is completed. It takes bit time because we started from what is language onwards. We have not started directly coding. To get into first application only, we have taken 10-12 days, right? Because I prepared from the fundamentals onwards. Okay, Spring Boot core does not take much time, hardly 10 sessions to 12 sessions. Okay, once we got that magic thing, but here we are going to develop one mini project, boss. That is going to be very interesting. Then one module for database connectivity, one module for web application development, one module for what? Distributed application, lastly, microservice architecture. On weekends, we'll be having common topics. Okay, now onwards, okay, once the Spring Boot core module is over, or if we are there towards last classes, I will be taking lot of so many, okay, weekend sessions, Saturday, Sunday, morning one, evening one, Sunday also morning one, evening one. So one weekend, one common topic will be completed. So like that, the sessions will be there. So that's why, so be mentally prepared to attend classes on what? Saturday, Sunday, now onwards. Clear? Got the point? Thank you. Have a nice time. We'll meet tomorrow for Spring Boot core.